Everybody knows that one kid from the Y. Someone that has game, but has yet to put it all together. I'm here today to tell you the story about that kid from my local YMCA on Airport Road in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I'm BJ Boyer from Basketball Society, and this is the story of Jason Bady and his uphill battle from averaging 2 points per game as a freshman at York College of Pennsylvania to becoming a D3 All-American, averaging 18 points per game his senior year.
Would you think it's fair to say that you were somewhat of a late bloomer as a player, as compared from where you were in high school to the level you reached in college?
As compared to where I was in high school, yes. I would say that I was a late bloomer. Things which are my confidence level, with my shooting ability. You know, I always kind of thought I was that type of player in high school, but until I really started doing it in college, really kind of started to realize, like, hey, okay, these are the things that I wasn't doing in high school that I needed to do in order if I wanted to be the person that I thought I was.
And this guy right here, Bady, I'm talking about, just knocks the first free throw down. He has been just pounding Aaron McFarland, and I don't think he's come off the floor. You guys can verify that, but I think Bady's been on the floor for every second of this game, and now he's thrown in 13 points in addition to shutting down the captain's #1 player.
Well, Bady has 37 minutes played in the last book. I think that's right at, yeah,
my goodness. What an effort.
So what experiences did you learn about yourself, both as a young man and a player here at Henderson, and how would you compare those to what you gained at York?
Not being the guy, but still being very productive and being a huge contribution to the team. How that carried over to York, being that my freshman, sophomore, junior year, I was not the scoring option. I'll do what I can. I'll be the auxiliary scorer, but I can do all the different things that you guys need me to do. I can go rebound, get loose balls. I can go rebound and try and get offensive rebounds. I can pass. I'll play defense, which is one of the biggest things that you need to do in order to be successful as a team. I think that mentality that grew from Henderson really allowed me to be productive my first 3 years at York College.
Did you feel slighted when you were here? Like, did you feel like you weren't?
When I was here, I felt slighted. I was not in a position where I wanted to be, and I felt like I was more than capable of being in that position. In my time at Henderson, I knew what I believed, I knew what I thought, but my biggest thing was to put the team first. You know, playing selfish ball, playing, you know, not within myself, not within the team's flow, was not going to be productive to overall team success. And that's what you all want. That's what you want. My first 3 years at York, granted, obviously my freshman and my sophomore year probably didn't deserve the recognition, but my junior year, I didn't get any conference team nods. I didn't get first, second team. There was no honorable mention. My senior year, I get player of the year. I get All-American. I know I improved, but did I really improve that much where I went from a quote-unquote nobody to a third-team All-American? So that's kind of the thing where I felt like I've always been capable, but the not getting the notoriety, not getting the recognition has always motivated me to be, okay, you guys will see it at some point. You're gonna see it, and when I get the chance, when I get the opportunity, when the time comes, you're gonna notice it immediately.
Corner Gordon, who fakes, now shoots a three, back rim. Bady flying in, he's got it. Looking for Ruby, shoots over the backboard and went in, but they're gonna wave it off. They're gonna wave it off.
Even though things didn't pan out at Henderson the way Jason wanted, he stayed on his grind. During his first 3 years at York, he was forced to take a back seat to the other 3,000-point scorers on the team. But when the time with the program was up, Coach handed Jason the reins. Not only did he come through for his Spartans, but he put the entire D3 world on smash.
When we were here earlier, we were talking about how you eclipsed the 1,000-point mark by like basically 150 points at York, but you were, you know, saying that you failed to do so here. To me, that's a rarity because I feel like most guys that score 1,000 in college did the same in high school. So talk to me about you evolving as a scorer, and was there a specific game or moment in college that you were like, yeah, like I can get to a bucket whenever?
My first game where coach kind of said, give Jason the ball sophomore year. It wasn't like, oh, this guy's in foul trouble on the bench. No, it was just, he's working, give him the ball. Junior year, there really wasn't that many moments during junior year, but there were times where you just knew, like, I knew where, oh, this guy can't hold me. or if I get the ball, I'm going to work.
Right.
And then just senior year, everything just opened up for me, and I knew that I had the reins, and I knew that, you know, it was my team. I knew I was the one who needed to produce and score. And there were many times where I was like, oh yeah, this is, who is this?
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah, don't worry, give me the ball.
So can you talk to me about playing at York and what the positives and negatives of playing D3 ball was to you, in your opinion?
You have your guys that can play D2, D1 ball, but they're in a D3 spot. And then you have your D3 players. There are some guys that just stick out more. How they move on the court, how they produce. There's a guy that was in the D3 Final Four who was averaging 40 a game.
40 a game?
Yes. The Elite 8, he had 70 in a college game. So you have your players that you know, okay, he don't really belong here. But then at the same time, you have your players like, you definitely belong here. And then when you leave D3, it's kind of something I'm experiencing now, you have the least amount of clout. You may be an All-American, but you played D3. 12 points a game scorer at D2 might not have that problem. A bench rider in D1 is not going to have that problem. Oh, you in D1, you rode the bench for Duquesne. Oh yeah, come on over overseas and we'll give you a contract.
After his hoops career at York, Jason learned about the politics of the pros and how difficult making it in the world of basketball can be. D1 hoopers tend to get more love overseas based off the fact that they played for a D1 program. Eager to make more of a name for himself, Jason hit up China for a workout with a Lithuanian team. He walked away not only learning what he needed to work on in his game, but how hard you have to push to secure that pro bag.
After you came back home, what was your mentality and what did you take away? Like, what did you say, okay, well, this is what I have to work on, this is what I have to improve on, this is what I want to expand upon in my game?
In terms of my game that I needed to improve on, was working on my ball screen game. Obviously, you got to expand your range. The FIBA line is further back than the college line. And then also being able to utilize mid-range. And my overall dribble package. I've been working on that all summer, but it's been 8 years since I've been able to really put the ball on a string because they ain't let me do it at Henderson, they ain't let me do it at York. So I've been working on getting that one back too.
What is it about basketball that makes it different from other sports, and what do you think makes it so special, and what has made it so appealing to you?
It's the most personal sport to a spectator. You know what I look like. And when I make a play, I can dap you up on the sideline. Basketball has been very progressive. Basketball itself is a very easy game to play. You need a peach basket and something that bounces. It's the #1 sport, it's a team sport, but you can take over. If you look at anything that MJ did, it's a team sport, but don't let that man shoot, right? Even Tom Brady get mad. If his wide receivers can't get open.
He's right. He's taking the L.
If his wide receiver gonna drop the ball, you in a basketball court, you mad your teammate missed something, give me the ball, I'm about to score. You get upset about something, you can make a difference. That's the #1 thing I love about basketball. It's a team sport, but it's very individualized.
Why do you think society needs basketball?
You can go to a local game and it's an event. You have local tournaments and there are events. Where people from around the city will come out and just watch and it'd be a community atmosphere. It's something that just appeals to a lot of people, even if you're not a big basketball fan. It's action. It's always something going on. There's always movement. There's always energy. It's not a dead sport, and that really brings life into different things that happen in the community. Like I said, you have a local basketball tournament. There's always something going on, and you can bring food vendors out, and you'll have DJs out. It can become and it can be a very community-oriented sport, and I think that's very important to what it brings to an environment, a neighborhood, and what it does in society.
So, Jason, I thank you for this interview. I appreciate you coming out, taking the time with us. Basketball Society got your back. Showing love, rocking with you, showing support always, man. Keep doing your thing.
For sure, thank you.
No doubt.